Hi everyone, welcome to Live Interactive English. I am Karen.
Oh, are you Karen? I don't believe anything anymore. I'm Shane. You really are Karen, right?
I am Karen.
So these are facts.
That's right, these are facts.
Okay, so we're talking about popular history myths debunked, part 2.
You know, ever since the last lesson, you know, the popular history myths that have been debunked in part 1, it started, got me thinking, maybe a lot of things that we were taught is not true.
Did you go online and just like, me too?
I went to fact check a lot of things. And then a lot of facts surprised me. What did you find?
Well, I found one surprising one. I was taught this ever since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
That you need to eat lots of carrots if you want to have good eyesight. If you don't eat your carrots, you're going to go blind. This is just not true. It's just a myth.
Wait, so does that mean that eating carrots is not going to improve your vision?
Well, they're good for you, but so are other vegetables. And of course, they have vitamins and minerals that you need, but there's nothing special about them. And if you don't eat your carrots, you're not going to necessarily have bad eyesight.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. Well, I found another one that's also very interesting.
Okay.
You know how we always say that, you have to drink 8 glasses of water a day?
That's not a fact either?
No, because 8 glasses of water a day is actually not a magic number. You really have to look at, each person's size and how old they are, because everybody is different. You
How
can't
healthy they are, how much exercise they get.
Exactly. You can't ask a 3-year-old to drink 8 glasses of water a day,
That's
right?
true. And if you are exercising and sweating a lot, 8 glasses is probably not going to be enough, right?
Exactly. So it really depends on each individual and also the situation.
Actually, when you just start thinking about these things, they're pretty logical. We just need to think more, don't we?
We do.
Okay.
We really do.
Let's find out some more history myths.
All right.
Albert Einstein was bad at math. In 1935, there was a rumor that Einstein had failed math in school. There was even a news article about it. In truth, Einstein had been excellent at mathematics and physics from an early age. When he was shown the article, Einstein said,
I never failed in mathematics. Before I was 15, I had mastered differential and integral calculus.
"The Great Wall of China is visible from space." Another myth that we constantly hear about concerns the Great Wall of China. People claim it is the only man-made object that is visible from space. The truth is that nothing man-made can be seen above 2,000 kilometers from Earth. Below that height, certain man-made objects like the Great Pyramids of Giza can be seen much more easily than the Great Wall.
Looking at part 2 of popular history myths debunked.
So we keep using this word debunked.
What does it mean?
To talk about myths. To debunk something means to prove that it's not true.
That's right.
Right? So in this case, these myths, of course, are not true. So we need to prove that they're not true.
Exactly.
Right?
This is so fun.
Yeah. Okay, let's continue.
Okay.
Albert Einstein was bad at math. In 1935, there was a rumor that Einstein had failed math in school.
Oh, Albert Einstein, right?
Everyone's heard this, right? That he failed math and that he dropped out of school, and right? I think people just say this because they want to justify when they're not really studying math.
Okay.
Or they're not good at math. They'll say, oh, well, even Einstein didn't do well in math in school.
That's right. So to fail math, that means you didn't do well, you didn't pass this subject, right?
There was even a news article about it.
So sometimes we can't really trust everything we read in a news article.
Right.
Is that right?
Or these days, what you read on the internet, especially.
Exactly. You really have to fact check it, and you have to try to prove it, right? You have to know what really happened and what is true.
There's just too many rumors out there.
Exactly, and that is our next vocabulary word, and that is rumor, and that is a noun. So what rumor is like a piece of information that is being passed from one person to another person, and another person to another person without any proof. So they could just be saying anything, right? So if you just listen and you just believe it, so that's a rumor.
And you don't question it or investigate it, then that's a problem, right?
Exactly. And a lot of people might believe rumors. So, for example, there is a rumor that the sales manager is going to leave the company. Now we know rumor, right? It's just a rumor. So you didn't go and ask him, so maybe he's
You just heard it, right? That's it. And now you're just repeating it.
Exactly.
But you didn't investigate to find out. Is that really true?
It's always important to find out the truth.
Okay, so in truth.
In truth, Einstein had been excellent at mathematics and physics from an early age. I would say
That makes more sense, right?
Exactly. We all know that he is very, very smart and intelligent. When he was shown the article, Einstein said, "I never failed in mathematics. Before I was 15, I had mastered differential and integral calculus." So when you say master in something, so that means you excel in that thing, right?
Right. Actually, yeah. If you are a master, that means that you pretty much can't go any higher. You can do this thing just as well as it can be done.
Exactly. So he was actually very, very good at math.
Yeah, and I think that really makes more sense, right? I don't think that just suddenly he just got really good at math.
Exactly.
He obviously had a talent for math, right? Moving on. The Great Wall of China is visible from space.
Is that also a myth?
Oh, come on. That's a myth too.
Wow, I can't believe it.
Everyone's heard that, right? So to be visible, visible is an adjective. That just means it can be seen, right? So for example, the child showed no visible signs of illness.
So maybe no runny nose, he doesn't look ill at all from the outside.
Exactly. So really? So that's not true?
I guess
Come
not.
on.
Yeah, I heard that too, actually, back in school. Okay, another myth that we constantly hear about concerns the Great Wall of China. People claim it is the only man-made object that is visible from space. Okay.
Where do these myths come from then? Because everyone's heard that, right?
I have no idea. I guess they were just rumors, right?
Yes. So constantly, this is an adverb. It just means to continuously or to go on and on, right? Repeating over and over again constantly. So Peter constantly asks me for money, but I don't want to give him any.
So that means he's always asking.
Always asking
Can I
for
have some
money.
money? Can I have some money? Can I have
No,
some money?
no.
That's right. Okay, and the next vocabulary word we have is claim, and that is a verb. So to claim means to say something that is true.
Right.
So, for example, Jason claimed that he saw a bear during his hike last weekend. So he just wanted to tell people that it's true that he saw a bear when he was hiking, right?
Right. So you can claim something is true, but it doesn't necessarily mean it is true.
Because you need proof and you need evidence.
Continuing, the truth is that nothing man-made can be seen above 2,000 kilometers from Earth. Okay. Below that height, certain man-made objects, like the Great Pyramids of Giza, can be seen much more easily than the Great Wall.
Wow.
So in fact, there are other things that we can see, man-made things, that we can see better than the Great Wall.
Like the Great Pyramids of Giza,
But
right?
you can't see anything from space, it's just too far.
Okay, so that myth has also been debunked, right? Okay, and we have another vocabulary word here, kilometer, and that is a noun. Kilometer is like a measurement where you use to measure the distance, okay, from one place to another place, and 1,000 meters equals to 1 kilometer.
Okay.
Okay, so
Because kilo means 1,000, right?
that's right.
Right. So we have also kilograms, right? Kilometers.
Exactly. So, for example, we drove for many kilometers before we found a gas station. Okay. Well, that's pretty interesting. We learned so many facts today.
Mind blown. Okay.
Exactly.
Why don't we take a little bit of break and let these new facts sink in.
All right. We'll be right back.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。我们今天要继续破解几个历史迷思。那下一个是爱因斯坦的数学不好。好，在1935年呢，有传言说爱因斯坦在校时数学考不及格，甚至还有新闻报道这件事情哦。Shane 老师说，有些人可能会拿这件事来合理化自己数学不好、数学考不及格。老师用到 justify 这个字 ，justify 是动词，表示合理化或是证明什么什么为合理正当的意思。那么单字 rumor 表示谣言、传闻。那现在网络上有很多谣言、假消息啊，同学们在看文章的时候，最好都要做事实查核。我们来学一下 fact check。中间有连字号，那它当动词的话，就可以表达查核事实的意思哦。好，再来课文写到说，事实上啊，爱因斯坦从小在数理方面表现就很优异。当有人拿那篇文章给他看的时候呢，他就说他的数学从来没有不及格过，在15岁前他就已经精通微积分了，超强的。好，文中的 master 在这边是当动词，表示精通。那这时候老师用到 excel 这个动词 excel。Excel 可以表达擅长、善于什么什么，我们就可以用 excel at 或是 excel in something 来表达擅长某件事。下一个常听到的迷思是，从太空可以看见万里长城。那么人们声称，万里长城呢是唯一可以从太空中看见的人造物。可是，其实，在距离地球2000公里以上的地方，任何人造物都看不见。单字 visible 它是形容肉眼可以看见的、明显的。那么 constantly 这个副词它表示不断地或是经常怎么样。claim 在这边当动词，它有宣称、主张那种声称的意思。还有 kilometer 表示公里，你可能也会听过有人念作 kilometer， 两个念法都可以。那它的字首 kilo kilo 就表示千、一千的意思。Karen 老师这时候解释单字时，他用到 measurement， 在 measure 后面加上 ment， 构成这个名词，它就有测量、测量结果的意思。这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来学这个重点是过去完成式 had 加过去分词 pp 的用法。过去完成式呢，它就是由 had 加过去分词 pp 构成的。这表示说，在过去某个时间点以前呢，在这之前就已经完成了动作或事情。那常常会搭配过去简单式来使用，表达两个动作或两个事件发生的先后顺序。比较早发生的呢，要用过去完成式；后发生的用过去简单式。举例来说 ，The children had fallen asleep before he got home。在他到家之前，孩子们已经睡着了。那孩子们睡着，这是先发生嘛？我们就用过去完成式 had fallen。他到家是后来才发生的事，我们就用过去简单式 got， 用这样去呈现它的先后顺序。接回到课文中。
These examples show us that you can't always trust everything you hear. Therefore, it's best to take each new and interesting fact you might come across with a grain of salt. Keep an open and flexible mind, even if what you find out challenges your beliefs.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back.
So we are going to...
I'm still digesting all of this.
That's right.
My
well,
mind
we
has just
learned
been...
a lot of facts, right? And a lot of myths that have been debunked. Wow. So I guess... Yeah, well, let's continue on with our article and see what else is there to learn. These examples show us that you can't always trust everything you hear. Therefore, it's best to take each new and interesting fact you might come across with a grain of salt.
So there's no more myths we're going to debunk now, because I think that was already enough.
Exactly.
But it's trying to tell us to really, you need to be skeptical of things when you hear them.
So that's what it means when they say, to do something with a grain of salt,
Take something
right?
with a grain of salt. Yeah, just to be skeptical. When you hear it, you need to be like, is that really true?
Like, don't trust it fully unless you have proof or you have evidence, right?
Right. Keep an open and flexible mind, even if what you find out challenges your beliefs.
And I think that's really, really important because some people are so stuck to the way they think and then they don't want to accept new ways of, or new facts or even something that's really, really true.
Yeah.
They refuse
I think people
to accept that.
People in general just want to believe that what they believe is true.
Exactly.
And if you start to challenge that, then they get uncomfortable.
Exactly.
So to challenge something, this is a verb, it means to question. It means to ask for an explanation or for proof of something. So when we're doing science or we're learning about historical things, we need to challenge some of these facts that we're hearing because they might not be facts after all.
Exactly. And I think that's how we improve, as a person too, to find out more, to question, and not just people feeding you information, right?
Right. Our example sentence for challenge, new data challenged the results of the study.
Okay, we
what-
have a question.
Yeah, what's the question?
What other history myths do you know?
Well, many people, I don't know if you've heard this, many people believe that
Yes.
Vikings had those helmets with the horns on their helmets.
That's not true either.
You see those in movies or in
cartoons.
paintings. The
Exactly.
Vikings always have this helmet and they have horns on the top.
And that is not true.
That's not true. It's just something that was made up, right?
Okay. Well, another one is that a common belief is that people think that, how Newton discovered gravity because he was sitting under an apple tree.
And the apple fell on his head. And
Yes.
it's like, that's how he discovered gravity.
But did you know that actually that was a myth?
Okay, so that didn't really happen.
No, it didn't.
Of course not.
So just don't believe like everything that you see or even sometimes read in books. It could still be wrong, right?
Yes, that's right. Question everything.
And check different sources, right?
Right. Well, hopefully you've learned something about history and learned something about learning, right? Try to learn more about this world and not just believing everything you hear.
Exactly. Well, thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you guys next time.
You can believe that.
这2天啊，我们破解了好几个历史迷思。从这些例子可以了解到，我们不能总是相信我们所听到的每件事，最好是要抱持着怀疑的态度。即使我们发现的事情呢，会挑战自己的看法，也要保持着开放和灵活的心态。那文中用到 take something with a grain of salt， 它表示对什么半信半疑，抱持怀疑的态度。这时候 Shane 老师则用到形容词 skeptical。skeptical 它是形容怀疑的、存疑的。那么课文单字 challenge 它则是表达质疑、怀疑，像是质疑什么的正确性、合法性等等。它也可以表达向什么来挑战。这边一个重点，我们要进入文法时间。好，我们来看这个重点是 even if 表示即使、就算，那它是 if 的强调说法。后面接的子句呢，是在描述某个条件啊，或是假设情况，这个情况不一定会成立哦。那么 even if 就是强调说，无论那个情况是否成真，那么都不影响到结果。举例来说 ，You should wear sunscreen even if it's rainy or cloudy。即使是雨天或是多云的天气，你都应该擦防晒哦。好，顺便补充 ，even though 则表示即使、虽然、尽管，那它是 though、although 的强调说法。这听起来意思跟 even if 差不多啊，可是你要注意的是。这个 even though 后面接的子句是在描述肯定的状况或是已经发生的事，用来强调说某件事它虽然成立了，虽然成真了，可是还是有这样的结果。像是 The outdoor concert went pretty well even though it rained。虽然下雨，那场户外音乐会还是进行得很顺利。好，那以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Albert Einstein was bad at math. In 1935, there was a rumor that Einstein had failed math in school. There was even a news article about it. In truth, Einstein had been excellent at mathematics and physics from an early age. When he was shown the article, Einstein said,
I never failed in mathematics. Before I was 15, I had mastered differential and integral calculus.
The Great Wall of China is visible from space. Another myth that we constantly hear about concerns the Great Wall of China. People claim it is the only man-made object that is visible from space. The truth is that nothing man-made can be seen above 2,000 kilometers from Earth. Below that height, certain man-made objects like the Great Pyramids of Giza can be seen much more easily than the Great Wall. These examples show us that you can't always trust everything you hear. Therefore, it's best to take each new and interesting fact you might come across with a grain of salt. Keep an open and flexible mind, even if what you find out challenges your beliefs.
Tongmen Elementary School was established by the Japanese when Taiwan was under their control. The over 100-year-old elementary school was built in 1916. 99% of its students are indigenous people. Tongmen Elementary School is located near the famous Emerald Valley attraction in Hualien. To see the amazing waterfall in the valley, you must walk through a dark tunnel and a section of Riverside Trail. The water is refreshing, so visitors also love to do river trekking over the top of the falls. Because Tongmen Elementary School is located in this incredible natural environment in Hualien, the school's courses place emphasis on mountains and indigenous culture. At the campus, you can see students hanging from old camphor trees during the unique mountain course that the school offers. Lessons cover mountaineering skills, environmental protection, outdoor safety, river tracing, and so on. The cultural courses of Tongmen Elementary School not only teach students about different parts of traditional indigenous culture, such as archery, playing the xylophone, and indigenous folk songs, but also incorporate samba drums into their lessons. Listen to the thundering sound of the drums. It's impressive, isn't it?
See you next time!